When I made news the other day, because first on Club Shay Shay, and then I had reiterated it, I said, listen, I don't have to go into details. That's their business. It's not mine. But make no mistake about it, he was forced out. And people were like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And they acted as if I was wrong. Was I wrong, Shannon Sharpe?
I will say this. I'm not here to confirm or deny anything. You've been a journalist for almost 3 decades, and I'm sure you've done your homework. I'm very happy with where I am now. I don't like to dwell too much into the past because I don't understand how that helped me in the future. But what it did teach me is that I need to make sure objects are closer than they appear. And I got to make sure I protect my blind spots.
Okay.
I appreciate everything Fox has done, FS1 done for me. I appreciate the opportunity that they gave me. But the one thing I do want to say, and hopefully I don't have to address this, Fox has never, ever, ever owned Club Shay Shay. Shannon Sharpe has always been the sole owner and proprietor of Club Shay Shay. What Fox and Shannon Sharpe had was an agreement that they would cover certain production costs, and once those costs was met, Shannon and Fox would split the revenue generated after that. It was in Shannon's contract that once Shannon Sharpe left, Club Shay Shay, his catalog, and all copyrights came with Shannon Sharpe. So can we put that to rest now? When people saying Shannon didn't own this, Shannon didn't own that, Shannon Sharpe absolutely 1,000% always has, and for the very foreseeable future, unless something unforeseen were to happen, owns Club Shay Shay.
Well, listen, the bottom line is this. I ain't editing it out. I tell you that much. This ain't going to get clipped. Yes, word for word, syllable for syllable. My interview with you in its entirety is going to be aired. Let me go to December 12th, 2022. Shannon, I want you to see this video right here. This is you and Skip getting into it about Tom Brady. Take a look at this as a fresh reminder.
You have no objectivity. It's just straight Brady hate. Wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Skip, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what I got to see what you do? You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal
Put your glasses back on.
You see that video right there, Shannon, months later. When I saw that, I hadn't spoken to you in years. We were always cool. We never had any issues, but I hadn't spoken to you in years. When I saw that video, I said, I don't have to know him. I know Skip. That relationship is in a world of trouble. As you reflect back on that moment, what goes through your mind, and how much trouble was the relationship between you two in at that particular moment?
There were a lot of that is my fault, because there were times that led up to that I felt that shots were taken and I let it go. And I should have said something then, but I didn't. And I would bring it to people's attention and they brushed it up under the rug. So that was my fault that it got to that point, and he felt that he could go over the top in that situation. I think in any relationship, whether it's host, co-host, it's boyfriend, girlfriend, it's husband, wife, whatever the relationship is, once one partner has no respect for the other partner then in turn loses respect for said partner. Then I think it's only a matter of time. Because I felt in that moment he had lost all respect for me. He had no respect for me. He's trying to compare me to a tight end. I never said, I've always given Brady his credit. I've always given all great players,
trying to compare you to a quarterback.
Right. What I was trying to say, in that moment, Brady didn't play well. Brady didn't play well that game. I didn't talk about anything that he had done 3 weeks ago, 3 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm talking about that game. And for him to feel that he was trapped and he was losing a debate, to attack me personally, when I've stood up, when guys have come on that show and tried to attack him personally, I was his bodyguard. I took the blows and said, hey, this is undisputed. Skip and Shannon, this is not yours. So I was very hurt and disappointed that he chose to go there with me when I've been one of the guys that's been in his corner. So it really, really hurt me. And what hurt me the most probably was there, because I know, this is what I know. And this is what I told my bosses, and I don't want to get too specific.
Okay.
I said, had the shoe been on the other foot, what would have been the outcome? Had I attacked him personally, live on television, what would have happened? But the good in all of that is that when I walk in meetings and I meet CEOs and I meet CFOs and I meet people in charge of making decisions, they always say, the way you handled that situation told us everything we needed to know about you, and you're someone that we want to do business with. Because it took everything. Because I had to make a split-second decision. In that moment, Stephen, I had to make a split-second decision. And the decision I made was to have a further long-term career. Because I knew at that moment in time, it was only a matter of time. Mm-hmm. They was going to have to separate us. I knew that. I was willing to play out the contract, but I knew it was going to end because it had started to come with greater regularity, the disrespect. You can say what you can say I'm loud, you can say I'm obnoxious, you can say I'm arrogant, but to try to poo-poo my career, a 7th rounder that started out on special teams and played so well that I got into the Hall of Fame, to try to minimize that was very disheartening for me. And I didn't think, look, someone that I don't know discrediting my career, I'm cool with that. I can live with that. But someone that I considered a friend, or we were friendly, but I considered Skip a friend, for you to take that kind of personal shot at me, it really hurt me, Stephen. It really did.
You said in the split moment you had to make a decision. What was
I had to make I'm saying to crystallize in that moment, the split decision was what? What you did, or what were you thinking about doing? What I didn't do.
What are you talking about? What you didn't do? What do you mean by that?
Stephen A. Man, look here. Over the last 7, 8 years, I've gone through a lot of therapy to be able to control. And rage is good, controlled rage is better. Mm-hmm. Aggression is good, controlled aggression is better. And when you're a professional athlete, you know how to turn it on and turn it off. It hurts more when someone that you know, someone that you trust, someone that you think are a friend would betray you or say something to you to that effect. Right. When people say things outside, if I don't know you, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. But for him to take that shot, to say I was jealous of Brady, jealous of what? I'm not saying I'm Brady. I've never said, people have heard me on Undisputed, on other shows. Gronk was a better tight end than me. Travis Kelce, Gates. Okay, I'm cool with that. Right. All I could do was get the best out of my God-given ability. But for him to take a shot like that because he's losing a debate, and everybody knows Tom Brady didn't play well. It was the 49ers game. Yeah. I think the score was 28-0 at the half, or maybe 35-0.
They were obliterated.
Ended up losing. Yeah. Yeah. So everybody knew, but to try to, oh, you were nothing and you're jealous of Tom Brady. Why? Why would I be jealous of Tom Brady? I'm happy that Tom was like me, given an opportunity. He made the most of that opportunity. So, I think that was, in all of my TV career, that probably was I remember going home, calling my sister. I called my brother. My homeboy has everybody had told him, and he had raced home. He'd watch it. It took a lot. It took a lot for me not to put my hands on him. It actually did.
I'm so thankful you didn't do that. I'm so thankful. First of all, I almost broke my hand just shaking, just touching your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I just touched your shoulder, I almost broke my damn hand. You're built like a chiseled brick house, for crying out, like good Lord have mercy. And I told you I ain't working out with you. That'll never happen, Shannon. I mean, that's like the Rock Johnson working out with Snoop Dogg. And Snoop's my boy. I'm not doing it, Shannon. It's never going to happen. I'm not doing that. You understand what I'm saying? So thank God you didn't do that. And you know, we spoke after for the first time in years thereafter, because I was really worried. And you know how much love I have for Skip Bayless, because the same things that you say about him, I got to say about him. I wouldn't have been a first take if it were not for him. I'm indebted to him for that. And I never had any kind of moment like that with him that you had. So it was coming from a completely different place.
But here's the thing, though, Stephen A. You can be gracious, you can be humble, you can be thankful. But what my grandma used to always tell me, say, boy, don't be a slave to loyalty. Sometimes people can give you an opportunity or put you in a situation and feel they can talk to you and treat you any kind of way, and you still be beholden to that. That's not me. I'm a very respectful person. All I ask, and Jamie Horowitz, if anybody who knows who Jamie Horowitz is, ask him the one thing that I said, no man or no person has to respect me, but I'll be damned if I let you disrespect me. I say, I walk in here as a 3-time Super Bowl game-winning champion. I said, I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a son. And above all that, I'm a man. And I'm a very proud man. So if you don't want to respect me, just let me go about my business, because you won't like the disrespected version of Shannon Sharpe. And so that's where I was. And people keep saying, be thankful. I'm thankful. I'm beyond thankful. My brother has done so much for me, but he didn't disrespect me. My grandmother gave me everything but my grandmother, Stephen, they gave me everything but life. My grandmother's never cursed me. So you mean to tell me because somebody gives you an opportunity, I'm supposed to be beholden and let him talk to me less than? And be appreciative where you're all on television, you making a lot of money. Damn money. I had money. I was a multi-millionaire before I stepped foot in LA. I'm appreciative. I'm thankful for the opportunity. But I believe you can do something for someone without have to constantly remind him of what you've done for them, or you have to constantly bowing down and taking your hat off to say that I'm thankful and I'm gracious. I've done things for people. You will never know unless they tell you. I don't mention it. I don't care. That's where I am. I just refuse to be a slave to loyalty and allow people to walk all over me because they've done something good for me. That's where I am.
Shannon, I want to switch left for a second, because I've said this to people about you, and I want you to know that I've said this to people about you. I've never shared with you that I've said this to people about you, but it's just something that I deduced because I went to school at Winston-Salem State and I went to school in the South. And I said to anybody that would listen, whenever they asked me about you, I said, here's what I know other than the star football player that he is. In my opinion, you can tell that Shannon Sharpe, I know you were born in Chicago, but moved to Georgia when you were 3 months old, if I remember correctly. That's what my research says. Obviously, you played at Savannah State. I'm thinking about a black man in the South, growing up in the 70s and 80s, and the level of disrespect one could imagine you had to have been exposed to, particularly as a proud black man. And so as a result, you're not going to come up to him. And I'm not talking about Skip Bayless. This is not about Skip Bayless. This is about you. This is about black men, particularly in the South. Black men, period, but especially in the South, particularly during those times. There's a level of vitriol, venom, and beyond that one could easily surmise y'all have been subjected to the point where that thing that you just talked about, disrespect, it ain't happening. You're not tolerating it. And when you see this guy who is loud, who will get in your face, who will challenge you if you approach him the wrong way, et cetera, that's not rude. That's not disrespectful. That's not unprofessional. That's a person that's proud and is letting you know there's a certain standard you will treat him with. That is what I have always said about you since, or at least over the last year or so, late year or two, when people have asked me about you. Am I wrong in that description?
No, you're absolutely right. Because of the way I carry myself, because I give everybody a certain, I believe everybody deserves a certain level of respect. No matter what I might think of someone, I will give them a level of respect. Just as a common courtesy, as a man, as a woman, as a human being a person. I will give them that level of respect. And I think the thing is, when people see me out, I'm kind of nothing like what I am on television. I'm kind of quiet. I'm kind of to myself. I'm reserved. One of the things that people that once they get to know me is that I'm not as boisterous at home. I'm in my own place.
Right.
I get my point across. I have a voice that projects. I can be charming. I can be charismatic. I can be loud. I can be a lot of different things. But I don't think I've never carried myself. And I don't think I'm better than anybody. I might think I can do my job better than you could do your job, but I don't think because I was an ex-professional athlete or I'm on television, I'm better than you. I don't carry myself like that. All I've ever asked from anyone was to give me the level of respect that I've shown you. That's all I've asked. That's it. I don't disrespect anybody. To this day is yes, sir, no, sir, is yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I've kind of gotten away from holding the doors for women because I don't want them to say, well, he held the door because he wanted to look at my butt. Or I don't ride the elevator, Stephen A. I don't ride the elevator with single women.
Wow.
I don't. If a server comes to my room and she's a female, I'll take the cart at the door. I won't allow them in my room. They start to clean the room. I'll go sit in the hallway while they clean the room. I just try to protect myself at all angles, and I've been very respectful to everybody. But that hurt me that day. That really did, Stephen A. And my sister has become very, very religious. And she talked to me because she was like, Shannon, okay, yes. What he said was wrong. Yes, should he have said it? Yes. But you still Shannon Sharpe. You still my baby brother. Mm-hmm. You still love. You still got kids that love you. Your mom still loves you. Your brother loves you. You still got millions of people out there love you. So how much harm did he really do? Should he have said it? No. Could he have gone another direction? Yes. And so as time passed by, I started to realize, okay, you're right. And
but
I think, sometimes, Stephen A., like when you do something, it's kind of like a bully. Like once a bully does something to you, if you don't stand up for yourself,
that's right,
he'll keep doing it.
That's right.